Hello everyone and welcome to Pet Feature Live again. So this is episode 3, I believe. um, but I am going to have my Gargoyle Gecko on here. I'm going to wait until a few more people show up first though. Before I actually do that, I try to stress her out to the minimum if I can. Stress him out to the minimum when I can. But I'll explain that later, of course. Hi everyone, how are you? But yeah, so if you guys have been following me around a little bit, you'll know I'm trying to do live streams just Tuesday. And just keep it on mute. But yeah, so how is everyone today? I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. I know some of you guys probably have homework and stuff like that. But yeah, we are ready to start the live stream. And I actually made a few videos today, so I am going to be kind of, posting those soon bit by bit. I made like 4 videos today, so I edited one already, so let's you. I was hoping you focused on your snake the next live stream. I I did have my ball python on my the one where I'm playing Kingdom Hearts, but I'll put him on a separate one, of course. So in this particular series, I'll probably be reoccurring certain pets here and there, so I will be trying to do that. Hi Nicole, how are you? I got my ratties today. Their names are Moon and Sun. That is such a cute little name pair. Sometimes I like it when there's like pair names that are kind of like foods. But yeah, I think we could probably bring her out by now. Let me see. Try to carefully bring her out. She has had a heck of a day because he has had a heck of a day. I'll explain why I am alternating so much, but you'll see later. I have a video on it, but yeah. So this is my Gargoyle Gecko. Ah! Sorry about that. He is freaking out right now, so I'll kind of let him scurry down. It's okay. I know. And right now, he is definitely freaking out at the moment because there's all these lights and stuff, so try to let him jump. But yeah, this is my Gargoyle Gecko. So originally the name was Zoe, but recently I have found out that it's a boy, and I have an actual video on this, but I will talk about it later. But I have a video explaining that I thought this was a female, and it turns out it's a male. So, but I'll have a more detailed video on that later. But I don't know if you guys can kind of see him. Ah! Super scared today. I know, baby. You are absolutely beautiful. Yay, finally got an opportunity to say that. Love your animals. Thank you. And I still don't know what morph he is at the moment. I know. Yeah, I still don't know what morph he is at all. So I'm going to have to research that. I haven't even bothered to research that, so. I know. As you can see, these guys are big leapers, so you definitely got to watch out for that. He's so cute. He is. He is, I know. And they definitely leap. I don't know if you can kind of see the stripe patterns with him. So, keep in mind, I'll only be featuring him for about the first 10 minutes or so, and then putting him back for this live stream, so. Because I don't want to, they jump a lot. What is he? Sorry, can't see him. He is a Gargoyle Gecko. but he is just a baby, still young. Not a tiny baby. He was a lot smaller when I got him. But I do have a video on mentioning him at some point. I don't have a solid video on him though. Like I don't have a video with just him on it. So if you look at my past video mentioning him, I explained that it was a female, that I assumed it was female because the breeder told me it was a female, and well, he told me that it was likely a female because most of the ones he bred were females. But this turned out to be a male. I found out recently, like super recently. Um, but I found out like only a few days ago or something like that. And it has just, it's boggled me. Just found out about your channel today. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Ah. And yeah, as you can see, they jump. It's kind of hard to focus. You can kind of see them. Put them in my light maybe. You look great, by the way. Thank you so much. Say hi. Say what? So you're so scared. But as you can see, I don't really like, as you can see, these guys are like, you know, quite hoppy and stuff like that. So I am not going to continue this very long. Again, it's only the first 10 minutes, and then I'm going to put him back, and then I'll show you him again for the last few minutes of this video. So I like it when they jump. It's so cute. Jump! Jump! Nope. What I like about this is it gives me something to focus on throughout the video. How long have you had him? Not very long. It's only been a few months. I think maybe like 2 months, 3 months, something like that. What terrestrial geckos other than Leos are there for beginners? You can also get fat-tailed geckos. African fat-tails are amazing. They are even calmer than your average leopard gecko. So that's kind of what's great about them. They're like a leopard gecko on LSD. But I love watching your betta fish. Yeah, I want to do more videos on my betta fish pretty soon. But I still am kind of figuring out what my theme is for my betta fish tank, like what I'm going for. But so far they've been doing okay. I am trying to beef them up a little bit with their weight. They've been a little bit underweight, and sometimes I feel like it doesn't matter how much I feed them. Like, I don't know, I feel like maybe they need more fat or something, I don't know, in their diet. My brother has an African fat-tailed gecko. They're like a leopard gecko, but they're more chill. Like, I don't know what it is, but the first time I held a African fat-tail, I for some reason, it was so strange. Like, they were just so calm. So I was so surprised at that. I have a real cute carrot leopard gecko. What are your thoughts on carrot leopard geckos? I mean, they're cool. I mean, I'm not specific with morphs. Like, I'm not big on morphs like some people are. I'm not super into morphs. I mean, if I see a pretty leopard gecko, I'm like, wow. But I am more interested in the behavior, like studying the behavior of animals. So, I mean, for me, it's never really mattered what the animal looks like or what the morph is. We kind of discussed this last week on Pet Feature Live, but yeah, I definitely specialize more in the personalities and behavior rather than just, you know. I have tarantulas that's over 20 years old. I've never heard of that. Hi. The great thing that I have been learning about geckos when it comes to like geckos that jump like this, the longer you handle them, like when you first handle them, they will be very, very, very scared. But the longer you handle them, the more they calm down. I have learned this recently with my crested gecko. He was very untamed, and recently he has been taming down. If he is available, I'll bring him out, but I don't think he is because he sleeps during the day. But yeah, so what I have called my Gargoyle Gecko currently is, I decided to name him Zexion. So Zexion is a name in Kingdom Hearts. It's an organization member. So if you watch Kingdom Hearts, like if you're a diehard Kingdom Hearts fan, you'll know what that's from. Otherwise, you'll have no idea and think it's some weird name. But yeah, the thing is I named her Zoe originally, and then I needed another name with Z, and Zexion just was brought up. Like, my husband brought it up, and I'm like, okay, that's good to use. So yeah, this is Zexion currently. And yeah, that's all we got. I love Leachianus geckos. I plan on getting Leachies in the future. I definitely want to specialize in them. They are the one type of gecko that I definitely have not had any experience with whatsoever. I have researched the care, of course, but never had any personal experience with them whatsoever. I have never so much as held a Leechie in my life. Never held it. Don't know what they feel like. Don't know if they jump around. Don't know if they're more lazy. Don't know, like, I have no clue. And, I didn't ever had any personal experience with gargoyles until recently, too. Of course, researched the care, but never really got into it. Well, not really into it, it's just that I never got the opportunity to get a gargoyle. So, yeah. But that is Zexion. Okay, I'm gonna try to get her back in her cage now, if I can. Okay. And I'll let her sit there for a minute and calm down, and then we'll bring her out towards the end of the live stream again. So if you guys have any questions about geckos, gargoyle geckos, leopard geckos, or it doesn't even have to be a reptile, please let me know in this pet feature live. But I am so happy to say that I have finally gotten a gargoyle gecko. I've wanted them for the longest time. I think they're extraordinary and beautiful. They are very similar looking to me, between like a lychee and I don't know what other, a lychee and like a, what's the other one? There's another one that kind of looks similar, but I forget. So, where is your python? I'm not featuring my ball python currently, so I'll be doing that in another live stream in the future. I have 2 upcoming videos with my ball python coming up. So if you are interested in my ball python, please stay tuned for future videos. I am going to try to release a video tomorrow. I'm going to have one that's already edited and ready to go. I already edited a big portion of it. So if you're into my snakes, my snake videos, that kind of thing, then you can watch the video tomorrow, because I'm going to have it up and it has Phoenix in it. So if you're into that, stay tuned for tomorrow. I will be releasing it around, I'm not sure. Okay, so I want a vote right here and now. What time should I release my videos for you guys? Let me know what is the best time in your schedule to release videos Eastern time. Go, let me know, because I have had the hardest time figuring out what time I should release videos, and I know that's crucial because some of you guys miss the first of it, and then after that it's just done. So my leopard gecko is not eating that much. I feed her super worms. What should I do? Okay, well, first of all, you should be doing mealworms and not superworms. Superworms are basically deadly. If you look at them, they're way too large for a leopard gecko. So if you just think about it, they're so large for a leopard gecko. Like, leopard geckos are these tiny little geckos, and You know, even when they're fully grown, they're small. So 4, 6, okay. So between 4 to 6, okay, I'm getting that. But yeah, leopard geckos are way too small to be eating superworms. So I believe that's correct. You said superworms, right? Yeah. So if you are feeding superworms, get down off that habit and quit it, because superworms are not good. They are very aggressive worms too. But I recommend mealworms. I feed mealworms. I have recently been doing it the Bryant way. So what Brian does is he puts a bunch of mealworms in the calcium bowl that he has in the leopard gecko tank. So you guys know from my leopard gecko videos, I always recommend a calcium bowl, very standard in leopard gecko care, but I mentioned having a calcium bowl in there, and you should put your mealworms in the calcium bowl. That way they have calcium no matter what, and that way they also get a worm feeding. So crickets, I've learned, are great, but they're not a main source. They don't have to be a main source. They can be more like a treat. Now, when you do crickets, also really want to get those vitamins in, so dust your crickets as well. Now, that is what I'm doing currently. Please shout out, hi Andrea, how are you? Thank you so much for the support, and thank you so much for watching my videos. I use tap water and leave it out for 2 days in spray bottle before using it. Is that okay? I would not recommend it. So I recommend using some kind of purified water. So, you know, purified, not even distilled. Everything is better than tap water. I really don't recommend tap water. The only time tap water is okay is when you have a filter. If you're filtering out water, then that's okay. Let me tell you something. Tap water is not even good for us. I don't drink tap water, and no one else should unless you have a filter system. So if you don't have that, Andrea, I already gave you a shout out, so please look at that shout out. I only give shout outs once. After that, you're just spamming. So, but tap water is not good for leopard geckos, crested geckos. It's not good for any animal, okay? At all. Okay. But yeah, I don't recommend it. And but yeah, I really believe in the new way of feeding worms to feeding the worms to your leopard gecko. I will do crickets and mealworms mostly. Mealworms, thanks. I also have a calcium bowl. Yeah, just always keep that calcium bowl in there. I remember when I used to work at a certain pet store, not going to name the pet store, but I used to work at a specific pet store, and they didn't have calcium at all with the leopard geckos. Actually, no, most of them didn't have. Now that I think about it, most of them did not have the calcium bowl. So that is so important. Believe it or not, even if you don't see your leopard gecko doing it, they definitely lick it. Like, they could be doing it at night. You know, sometimes it only takes a few minutes for them to do it, so it's like you can miss it easily, but they definitely need a calcium bowl in there. And even if they're not doing that, it's still, let's say they're not licking their calcium bowl, you can make sure that they're getting their calcium when you're dusting their food with calcium or putting the worms in the calcium bowl, things like that. There are also some alternatives if for whatever reason you feel like your leopard gecko's not eating at the moment. They do make the Rapashi grub pie, I think it is. It's on Amazon, and I think I have it on my Amazon links. I'm not sure, but you could check it out. I have my Amazon links always down in the description, so you can go check that out. I might have the Rapashi grub pie, but I'm not positive. Either way, that is an alternative just in case for whatever reason your leopard gecko is not eating and you need something pronto. But it's still not something I recommend for, for an everyday diet, of course. How big of a calcium bowl? Well, it really depends on the size of the gecko. For instance, if you have a baby, no more than like a bottle cap, But once they're older, you can get a bowl that's a little more like about that rounded. So either way, they're small. There is no such, I mean, I guess there is so much thing, too much calcium. There is such a thing, but it's very hard to go over that limit, you know. So mine is a small water bowl. Yeah, that's fine. Something small but not crazy small. The only time you need it to be this little is when they're like teeny tiny babies. Could you give... Yes. Hi Anya, how are you? Just get bottled water for your rats or a gallon jug of spring water. Yeah, like I said, any kind of purified water. What other stuff do ball pythons eat other than mice? Also, they eat crickets. No, they do not. Just mice and rats. Good old mice and rats. My leopard gecko only eats worms, not crickets. What should I do? That is totally fine. Like I said, crickets, I have learned, are not needed. Like I mentioned earlier, Brian Barzik, he uses just the mealworms and he doesn't feed crickets. Like, it's very, very rare. Like, he feeds them as a treat. So it's totally fine if they're only eating worms. A lot of people sometimes worry about digestion issues, but I have honestly never had that problem. I have fed worms many times to my leopard geckos and nothing has ever happened. So, but like I said, if they are having digestion problems, you could try the Repashy grub pie, because Repashy grub pie has moisture in it. So if you feel like they need a watered down, you know, and they're not taking crickets, you could try that. Okay, thanks. That's what I've been doing with all other animals. I get 8 gallons of spring water. But yeah, it's not bad. Oh, my phone feels hot. I think I have to have it off the charger. Sometimes that heats it up too much. But what else was I saying? But yeah, as far as feeding your animals, like, I know it's so annoying sometimes. I have a video coming up on kind of feeding your ball pythons as well. And like, I'm not really talking about feeding in general, like it's not the main thing, but there are so many problems with feeding ball pythons versus like corn snakes or something like that. I remember when I first got Phoenix, he didn't eat for like 2 whole months or something like that. Or almost 2 months. Like, I remember it was such a hassle to get him to eat. But really, like, luckily, if your gecko is eating one thing, like, all you can try to do is alternate, and if they're not taking the alternations and they're only eating one thing, you know, at the end of the day, at least they're eating something. It's better than just starving themselves out. I want a snake. What is a good starter snake? There's a lot of good starter snakes. Obviously, between ball python and corn snake is good, but a lot of people also leave out garter snakes. Garter snakes are really great too. They have a very strange diet, but they are pretty good too. You can also try something called children's python. Now, this is not a well-known type of snake. A lot of people don't know what kind of snake this is, but children's pythons are great because they are really, really small. I think they only get up to maybe a foot or 2 feet or something. Like, they don't get very large, and they're perfect for somebody who doesn't have a lot of space. But I really do recommend them too. But ball pythons are super awesome. I have male rats, and sometimes they squeak and stand on their back legs and try to push each other over. That is completely normal. I would not worry about that one bit. That is just basically rat language. If you'll find out as time goes on what's serious and what isn't. Sometimes rats will sound like they're literally trying to kill each other, and they're not. It's hard to explain, but in rat behavior, a lot of the times you'll kind of see sibling rivalry a little bit, and it's really not serious. when you know it's serious when blood has been drawn, or when there's ongoing fights constantly. But little things like that, where they're kind of what I call rat boxing, where they start rat boxing and things like that, it's nothing to worry about. If you've seen that they are kind of, if you've seen that there's any kind of wounds or something like that, I would probably look into it more. But if you've checked your rats and they often do that and there's no wounds, then there's no harm done. Often it's just that rats, sometimes they assert their space a little bit, and it's like a family member, you know. Sometimes they fight, but most of the time they're happy with each other. Do all ball pythons grow huge? Well, I mean, the maximum any ball python can get is 5 feet. Personally, I don't think 5 feet is that terrible. When I tell people 5 feet, sometimes they freak out a little bit, like people who aren't used to snakes. But honestly, if you look up how big other snakes get, 5 feet is nothing. But that's usually only in females. Most males tend to reach around the length of like 3 feet, and sometimes 4 feet, depending on how well the feeding is and how well they are bred as well. So, but I think mine is pretty much going to meet, I think he's just going to stay 3 feet, which is fine with me. I really don't care. But some people do what is called power feeding. I've never completely agreed with power feeding because it's just, I don't know, it's a little much, but it does help them grow a lot faster and a lot bigger. What aquarium should I use? Be a little more specific. I mean, it depends on what you're doing with it. What is the best fish to get? There's a lot of different types of fish that I recommend, but personally, the best fish I like that I've had good experiences with were guppies. I really, really like cory cats as well. Cory cats they can be a hardy fish if you know what you're doing. Now, I'm not gonna say, like, don't get mad at me if you go out and get a bunch of cory cats and something happens to them, but overall, cory cats can be a pretty hardy little fish. Guppies obviously are a great starter fish. I do recommend swordtails as well. Swordtails are really nice, and platies. I used to recommend mollies, but they're not the best beginner fish because, especially balloon mollies, which are my favorite fish in the world, they are so sensitive to everything. Little things like temperatures and not the right levels. It's just, they get really, really, really sensitive. So I don't recommend them for a beginner. I used to, but I don't anymore because I've had more personal experience with them, knowing that they're not that beginner after all. Let me see. What are good snacks and treats for hamsters? Just natural stuff. Like, I always recommend natural stuff. Like, natural fruit is a good, like, you can't get it, there's nothing better than a natural fruit for a hamster, or like natural seeds, types of seeds and stuff like that, because, you know, that's their natural way of eating. So, what is the best beginner reptile? I do have a few videos on beginner reptiles, but overall, it's always leopard gecko is number 1. Number 2 is cresties. Number 3, I think, was gargoyles. Number 4 was ball pythons, and number 5 was corn snakes. And then if I'm doing a number 6, bearded dragons. I always put bearded dragons last because even though a lot of people get them, they're beginner animals, but they're not like way up there, because a lot of people, not everyone has the space for a huge tank, and they get big. Like, they're very large lizards. So you do need a large tank for them. And sometimes beardies are not that hardy. They get sick a lot easier than a leopard gecko or a crested gecko or a gargoyle gecko would get. So I recommend all those as my top 6. From then on, it's kind of up to you what you want to do, but hi, I'm new to your channel. Well, welcome. We welcome you, and thank you so much for joining our live stream. But, oh yeah, and I don't know if it's being featured at the bottom of this live stream, but we do have shirts out, you guys. I have my shirts out on Teespring, and I really got to put the link down below because I haven't done that, putting it in the description. But if it is featured at the bottom of this, then yeah. Are cherry tomatoes okay for rats? Because I asked a friend and she said they can't have those. Ooh, I've never fed those. I don't think there's any restrictions on tomatoes though. Just let me know. Just letting you know that I am legally blind. Oh, I'm so sorry. But I don't think tomatoes are a problem with rats. I've never heard of it anyways. Usually the only thing they tell you not to do is like do citrus fruits and stuff like that. I love the new merch. Thank you, Isabella. I'm so glad you went over there and at least looked. Even if you don't buy anything, if you look at my store, maybe you can share it with your friends who love pet related stuff. Anything would help. It'd just be nice to show your support. And I've actually already mentioned this in some videos that I made today, but I'm going to be starting this thing where I want you guys to take pictures. You don't have to show your face, but if you buy some merchandise for me, I'd like you guys to show yourself wearing this shirt, and then you can also, if you want, show whatever pet you have, whatever it is. You could have a snake, a dog, cat, doesn't matter. But you could show yourself wearing my shirt and then a picture with your pet and the shirt, and I'll feature it here on my channel. So all you have to do is you can tag it on Instagram, you can direct message it on Instagram, or if you even want to do a video, you can send that to my email. I always have my email available as well so that you guys can contact me. But yeah. My mom is going to order it tomorrow. Oh, I hope so. I'd be very appreciative. Can we see your leopard gecko? I showed my leopard gecko in the very first episode of Pet Feature Live, so if you do want to go see that, go see it. I have that. And again, you guys, I'll be reoccurring all my pets in this series. So obviously I don't have endless amount of pets. No one really does. So after I've shown a few pets, I'll just keep reoccurring it. So again, if you want your request being taken into consideration, or you want to see a certain pet in my next Pet Feature Live, all you have to do is follow me on Instagram and then direct message me on Instagram what the pet is that you want to see next. Do rats make a lot of like dirt? Oh, like are they messy and dirty? So yeah, they are generally. The thing is rats would be a lot messier if they didn't know how to clean themselves. It's kind of like a dog. A dog doesn't really clean themselves, so they can't really, they're dirtier than, But luckily rats as a whole, they get pretty dirty. But luckily they do clean themselves, so they themselves on their body don't get that dirty. But you really need to be cleaning your cage like every 2 days because they get really messy. Or if you're not doing it every 2 days, you need to be spot cleaning every day at least, and then doing regular cleanings like twice a week. So it really depends on also where your rats are. I don't recommend them having in your room. If you have no choice, I understand, but a good place for them to be is like your specific pet room, or you could even do maybe like in the living room, somewhere where it's more airy and not like confined in one little small room or something like that. But they can be messy. Have you had an axolotl before? My sister says that they're hard to take care of. Is she right? Absolutely. Definitely advanced animals, not even intermediate, advanced. They're great little animals. I love them, but I would never take care of them because, excuse me, I would never take care of them because they have a lot of requirements. The temperature needs to be cold, and if it's off, they're not going to make it. And many other things too. You also have to take in consideration things that aquatic animals need. Aquatic, fish and stuff, they need a certain amount of pH levels. You need to be cycling tanks. You need to be, you need to be on top of all of that. You need to learn about cycling, and it's a big process. So if you're not even into aquatics, I recommend getting into aquatics before you even get an axolotl. So, but yeah. Do leopard geckos require a lot of heating? Not really. If you're in a cold climate, like really cold, you can get a heat mat. Obviously, I recommend a heat mat for basically everybody. The thing is I live in Florida, so the heat stays really neutral here. Like it's always hot here. So I don't really have to worry about that. However, I still have a heat mat and thermostats just in case I need it. And there is a heat mat in their tank, but you don't need anything more than a heat mat. That is plenty enough to keep them warm. My friend got a purple axolotl male named Apollo, and his girlfriend got a female named Teacup. Oh, that's cute. My rats don't like to be held in my hands, but they like to be on my shoulder or head. Oh. Would you ever get a sugar glider? I would, definitely. I think that I could do it. But I just don't have the space. That's the only reason why. But they're definitely on my list, of animals I want to get one day. What if you live in Alaska or something? What else would you add for heating? If it's really that crazy, you could add a heat light. A heat light is not going to hurt your leopard gecko. The reason why I don't recommend them is because they're unnecessary for most places, and they don't really like light. But if it's really that extreme and it's like super crazy cold where you are, then of course you could get a heat light. There's no harm in it. It's just I always felt like it was unnecessary for most people. But a heat light's not gonna damage your leopard gecko or anything like that, unless you have like a tiny tank or something like that, and the heat light's like this far away from them. Of course not. But and if you are putting on that much heat, like Miranda says, you should have like thermostats and things like that. And you can also get a thermometer that spot checks in your tank. What is the average lifespan of a gargoyle gecko? So it's basically just like leopard geckos. It can be between 15 to 20 years depending on how well you keep it. So, but they should never pass on before 15 years. So, thanks. So this is our little spot thermometer. This is really cute. I think we got this on Amazon, but as you could see, it's actually 82 in here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but if you guys have this, if you don't have it, first of all, get it. But this is how you spot check anything in the tank. So if you have a leopard gecko tank or whatever tank, doesn't matter. It can be an aquatic, you could check water temperature with this. Any spot in the tank, and as you can see, it has like a little red light here, so you see where it's going, but it spot checks any part in the tank. So maybe it's 82 on one side of your tank, but unfortunately it let's say you did a water change and unfortunately it's a different temperature on the other side. That's something you should know. So I really do recommend stuff like that. I had a betta fish. I think I had 3 different times, but all male. Yeah, the males have a lot of broad colors. So I have 2 sugar gliders, and they love going in my pocket, and it's so cute. Sugar gliders are a great pet. I just don't recommend them for beginners. If you haven't taken care of animals or you haven't been around them, I do recommend hanging out with sugar gliders before you actually buy them or adopt them, because they're not for everybody. Even though they're super crazy cute and they look like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, and I totally think that is where they got the idea from Stitch, by the way, because it looks exactly like him in the face. But they're not for everyone, but I do recommend hanging around some before you buy them or adopt them, because, you know, they can be kind of skittish and they don't bond to people. If you want an animal, and I've said this 1,000 times, but if you want an animal that's going to bond with you like that, just get a rat or a mouse, because rats and mice, once they get used to their owners, they're, sorry you guys, I'm getting so much, like, I don't know what it is, but my eyes are like tearing up a little bit. It's probably because we're cooking stuff in here. But, what was I saying? I forget. Oh yeah, if you're getting a sugar glider, like, just hang out with them before you actually... Oh yeah, rats. Thanks for reminding me. Rats are the type of animal that are going to bond with you. They're super clingy. Once they get a human that they like, they just want to be around them all the time, and they need attention all the time. And they need, you know, they like to come out and roam around. And that's the thing about sugar gliders, is they're like straight night creatures. They hate being up during the day. They will scream and rant and go crazy at you if you're getting them up during the day. So it is unfortunate, but they're not the type that are going to be... Rats are really great pets, just smelly. But, well, it really depends on where you have them in the house, though. I mean, if you're... It's not really a big deal if you have them in their own room or something like that, which most professional pet keepers do have them in their own room. So, you know, and also having a big cage makes a big difference as well. If you have a really large, like, the larger the cage, the better it is. Make sure that cage has tons and tons of, you know, aeration. You need a lot of aeration. You know, you want it to not be too funky up in there, but you definitely should have a big cage, like the biggest you can get, because, you know, obviously the smaller cage, it's going to get dirtier faster. So, you know, and things build up. So, sorry you guys, I know you see my hand. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss any comments. Yeah, but sugar gliders, I really do like them. They are good pets. They just require a certain kind of person, to be honest. Yeah, sugar gliders are a lot of work, and you need to work on bonding a lot. My mom only lets us get them out at night. Well, you can't really get them out during the day, because I remember trying to bond with so many sugar gliders at my past job. It was really hard. I finally got a sugar glider to kind of warm up to me, and I got it a home. Actually, it was a pair, but I got them to warm, like, you know, it was really hard, though. It was so hard, because I had to hang out with that sugar glider all the time, and at the same time of hanging out with them, you also can't stress them out. So if you are trying to bond with a sugar glider, the best real way is to keep them in their pouch and keep them with you wherever you go. So you can be... I don't recommend bringing them out to too many public places, because they are the type of animal that stresses out insane, like really insanely. But so just keep this in mind. These are animals that stress out a lot. They can only be up during nighttime hours, and they really don't bond you like that. Like, it really does take months. But best way, keep them in their pouch, okay? Just keep them in their pouch and walk around your house doing your normal house stuff. Obviously, be careful. You know, you don't want to be going crazy running around your house and stuff with them, but just having them in the pouch close to you, also putting an article of your clothing in their pouch so they can, you know, shred it up and bundle and stuff like that in it. All that will help you bond with them. Now, it doesn't work like it does with, I don't know, say a rat or something, or a dog. It's not like, oh, let me bring them out of their cage and hold them and pet them and hang out with them, and that's how we bond. That's not how sugar gliding or bonding works at all. It's, honestly, that's going to make your sugar glider hate you. But yeah. Do you have dogs? I don't, but I have had so many dogs in the past. In when I was like a young girl, and I love dogs. I also have worked at so many pet stores that I have hung around so many dogs too. I have a decent knowledge about dog behavior. I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I do study some of their behaviors. I don't want to sound mean or anything, but a lot of people, at least here in America, don't really know dog behavior very well. We think we do, but we don't. A lot of people who, like, I've met people in the past when I was working at the pet stores who thought they were like professional dog owners when they definitely weren't. Like, they have no clue. But every now and then I would encounter someone who like knows how to walk their dog and stuff, but it's so rare because a lot of people a lot of people walk with their dog in front of them, and this gives the dog the thought that they're in charge. And you really shouldn't do that. Your dog should either be behind you or, even better, be right beside you, and they should never go in front of you. Because also what that dog does is when you let them in front of you, they also think that they can pull you, and often that's where that problem occurs, where they're pulling on you and stuff, because when they're in front of you, it tempts them to go even further and even further and even further, and they think, in their mind, they think that you're okay with them being in front and pulling a lot because, you're not telling them, hey, stay beside me. So, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna bring Zexion out, and honestly, you guys, like, I don't know if I'm sticking with that name, but that's what I'm going for right now. So, let me see how he is. I didn't plan on it being a male. Just didn't plan on that. Okay, he sees me coming. Oh my gosh, he tried to bite me. Okay. Here he is again. Say hi. And he's super mad right now. Exactly. I live in DC and people's dogs are wrapping them around trees. Yeah, that's where that problem basically occurs. No, where are you going? But yeah, guys, walk your dogs beside you. So, by the way, you guys, I am definitely still learning about gargoyle geckos. I don't really... Woo! That was so close. He is so fast when he wants to be, but so slow when he wants to be too. The only thing that I have encountered that's different with gargoyle geckos versus crested geckos is I've never ever had a crested gecko try to bite me, and my only gargoyle gecko in the past has bitten me before. Now, he bit me when he was actually smaller than this, but I am terrified by that because I know that he's going to get a lot bigger than this, and that scares me a little bit because it's like, how's that going to feel when he's older, But yeah, there's his little face. It's so hard to see him, but don't worry. He's going to be high quality because I have a video on him recently, so this might sound weird, but you have really nice teeth. Good. That's a good thing. Have you seen Solid Gold Aquatics before? Her name is Jenny. I have. I've seen her channel before. I've watched quite a few in her past videos on fancy goldfish. So, but yeah. Now she has a lot of regular animals. My gerbil likes to jump, and he would jump into his tank and jump out, so I definitely need a lid. Oh, I don't recommend it when people have gerbils and don't have a lid, even if they have a really big tank, because gerbils they're not like hamsters. That's my cat scratching, by the way. But yeah, gerbils are not like hamsters. They can jump really high sometimes, and they're super active, and they dig a lot and they chew a lot. It is so, sometimes they make the tank a disaster. But Overall, you should always have a lid when it comes to your gerbils. What's that around your neck? This is a Native American inspired, uh, what do you call it? Choker that I have, and it is also like animal friendly. So this isn't real leather, this is fake, and you know, everything is animal friendly, and I like Native American inspired type stuff. So if you guys haven't noticed, I used to have another choker that was kind of Hawaiian slash Native American inspired to me. But I try to use like animal friendly brands these days. Like I try to be real careful about it. There was one that was like really pretty that looked a lot like this but brown, but it was made out of, you know, cow skin. So I didn't want to do that. Real leather sucks. Did you get it online? I did. I got it from Amazon. Just so you guys know, I get almost everything off of Amazon. And I'm not promoting Amazon because I have Amazon links. I mean, I do, and it'd be great if you guys visit my Amazon shop. But I get everything off Amazon anyway. That is just how I am. I'm not the type of person that likes to go out a lot, like, and buy supermarkets and the blah, 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 you know, like, if I can, I like it delivered to my house. It's just that simple. Like, when it comes to clothes, Amazon. Like, literally. But, yeah. She's so cute. He's so cute. You guys, you have to give me a break. It's going to take a while to to go with that, because I only just found out that he's a boy, so. Also, in my video where I talk about finding out that he's a boy, I also show you how to sex him. And if you get a gecko this size, a gargoyle or a cresty, you'll be able to find out what sex they are by then. My mom does not like rats, but she got me one. Oh, that's great. You should get 2 though. Try to get 2. I just got my grandmother a chevron bracelet. Oh, okay. Yeah, I live in the middle of nowhere in Yukon, so I just get everything online. It's so much better that way. Like, personally, I like it better that way. And one day I might even get my pets online. I don't know. Yeah. So far, he hasn't tried to bite me for a while. But I think that's because I try not to grip him too much. So that's the necklace design you have. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't, I was just like, whatever. Like, I saw it and I liked it. I'm like, whatever. Also, sometimes I feel like if I have, like, nature-inspired jewelry, it kind of goes along with my channel, in my opinion. And I personally just like it, but I think it goes along with my channel because, you know, nature, animals. So, but, I saw this video recently where this guy goes to New Caledonia and actually sees crested geckos in the wild. It was so, so cool. I haven't seen the whole video yet, but I intend to, because I really was interested about that. Have you ever gotten any hamsters? I've had many hamsters in the past. I don't currently. I definitely know hamster care, so if you guys need any care tips, please let me know. I have a video on hamster care, so you could check that out as well. It's like more recent-ish. You look amazing and can't wait to get some lizards and other lovely animals alike. Oh, thank you. Yeah, get a gargoyle gecko. Gargoyles are, like, the care is basically like cresties. There's very, very similar ways of caring for them, so. Bugsy, go away. Stop looking at him. You're making me nervous. Because I don't know if you're going to hunt him if he runs. The sad thing is lots of people won't deliver to my house since it's so reserved. Oh. I had to drive an hour or more to get my stuff. Oh, man. Yeah, Bugsy, he's our oldest. He's our oldest cat. Yes, he is. And you can hear him now. Okay, let me try to put her back in. I mean him. Okay. Alright, you guys. So, also, my Gargoyle Gecko is going to get an update, cage update, and I might show you guys that later on. Because he's finally getting bigger, so. Little meow, so cute. Yeah, he's my little baby. Who is Bugsy? You don't know who Bugsy is? Come on, man. How long you been following this channel? He's like, actually, I don't even know who my mascot is on my channel. I have to really think about it. Because I feel like there's a few mascots. If I had to put it on the top 5, it would probably be Oscar and Charlie when they were around. And probably Diagon and Phoenix. I feel like those are my main mascots. Let me know who you guys think my mascot is, because I really, I've never really thought about it, to be honest. Jesus. Oh, that's cute. Ah. Sorry, you guys. We got, like, fumes going on in here. Because we're making the food. How is my battery life? Oh, it's okay. But yeah. Is there a different subspecies? Is there a different subspecies of that little guy? Of who? Who you talking about? How's your python? He's doing good. You guys are going to see Phoenix tomorrow in a video. So, again, so far some of you guys said I should release my video tomorrow at 4. Some of you guys said 7. So, any other votes? Maybe 6, maybe 3. Let me know what time you want my video released tomorrow. What is your favorite rodent? Rats, definitely. Rats and then mice after that. What lizard? That's a gargoyle gecko. I don't know if there's like subspecies. I'm not sure. Oh, I love my little guys in the back. We had some more here, but recently we had to take them out because, and we put them up there because they were kind of going after our fancy ones. Mine would be rats and gerbils. I have had experiences with gerbils, but I've never actually cared for them myself. I definitely know the care for them. It's pretty simple, but they're just so much. Like, there's a reason why I never got them. They're a little more high maintenance in some ways because they constantly dig, so you need to give them a deep substrate. And they really do dig. Like, sometimes you'll get an animal where people are like, oh, they need a lot of substrate because they dig a lot, and you get that animal and they don't really dig that much. Like mice, they dig a lot, okay? But it's nothing compared to a gerbil, okay? Gerbils, however, they dig, like, I know this for a fact after working at so many pet stores. They dig their entire substrate up crazy. They ruin everything in the tank. If there is plastic, they will chew it to the core by the end of the week. If there are chew toys in there, gone by the end of the week. And if you have a water bottle in there, you better make sure it's glass or something because they will chew that out really fast. And not to mention they drink a lot. Like the ones at the pet store that I took care of, they would drink their water like that. So that being said, you know, the fact that you have to get a lot more substrate for them than a regular rodent, I would definitely say that it makes them a little bit more high maintenance. However, I do still like them a little more than hamsters because, excuse me, they have a little bit more personality than hamsters in my opinion. They are a little more, I don't know. When I was getting into rats and then I hung out with gerbils for the first time, they kind of reminded me of rats. They didn't have that kick that made me instantly want them. when I started getting rats, it was unprepared. Like, I was not prepared to get a rat. It was definitely impulse. But I fell in love with Lucky when I first got him. Like, there was just something about him that, I don't know, I couldn't stand to see that particular rat getting eaten by a snake. I couldn't let it happen. It was tearing me up when I first met him. More rats, please. We all love them. Oh, I do not want to get rats, you guys. I have told you guys that a lot. I do not want to get rats because I am still, and I'm still sad about my rats, and I still will be sad for a very long time. So I can't just get new rats. Like, it's not like that. At least not for me. Maybe some people can just like get a new pet the next day, but I can't. I can't do it. I had too much fun with those rats, and you know, I don't want new rats. I want my old rats back, if that makes sense. My gerbil likes his cheeks to be rubbed, and if someone does, he purrs. Oh, I didn't know they purr. That's cute. But I do like gerbils, though, a little bit more than hamsters, because they tend to have a little bit more personality, in my opinion. I remember when I was handling a gerbil for the first time, it was so cute. Oof, it was so cute. I like them. It's just that when they're in their cage, they wreck everything right away, and it's like, is worse than any rodent I've ever experienced. And it's like, I don't know how. The thing is they don't need hides. They don't need hides in their enclosure because their hide is deep substrate, so they don't really need that kind of thing. But yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice the time. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna go. It's about that time now. I usually try to just do Pet Feature Live for just an hour. So if you guys haven't already, if you haven't seen it already, I have my merchandise out now on Teespring. I think it will be featured in this live stream. I don't know, but it's on Teespring, so go and check it out. I, again, am going to be doing a little, I don't know what you call it, but a little, not campaign, I don't know what to call it, but I'm doing a little thing where I want you guys to purchase my t-shirts, and then if you take a picture with that t-shirt, and preferably also with your pet if you want, and again, you don't have to show your face, but you can make a video with the shirt on, or you can take a picture, whatever, and email it to me, or tag it on Instagram, or direct message it on Instagram, and I will be featuring it in my future videos. So yeah, you can be on Pet Adventures if you like, but you have to get a t-shirt. It's just one buy, just one time, so it would be greatly appreciated from me if you supported me in that way. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, or this live stream, and I will see you guys again next Tuesday, again at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, don't forget to tell me what pet you want in the next live stream. All you have to do is direct message me on Instagram and follow me on Instagram, and I will take it into consideration and see what I can do for the next live stream. So I will take your t-shirt. I'm from the UK. Oh, thank you so much. Also, I'm the UK big fan. Thank you guys. I love UK. Mwah. I love UK. I love US. I love all you guys. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.